Remember, an hour you spent in prayer is what more than all the hours you have not spent. You spent outside of prayer. An hour spent in prayer. What the value of that hour in the spirit is very high. The value of that hour in the spirit can purchase a 10-year degree. The value of that hour in the spirit, if the Lord open your eyes to see, you will discover that a lifetime can be acquired by that value, by the value. No wonder Jesus said that for a day in the court of God is better than 1,000 outside of the courts of God. Do you know what he was saying? He was saying, talking to prayer people, he was disclosing as the psalmist began to speak in Psalm 84 verse 10. The psalmist said, for a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. A day in the courts of the Lord is better than 10,000 outside of it. Is better than 10,000. That's to say, remember, when we come to pray, we approach to the courts of heaven. Who shall ascend unto the hills of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? That was the discourse that Psalm in chapter 24 he began to have. The discussion, a cry that came out of the hearts of intercessors, a discussion, who shall ascend unto the hills of the Lord? And we were made to know that he that have a cleaner, the hills of the Lord, you need to enter the courts of God, the courts of God, the courts of God. A day in the court of God is better than 10,000 days. How much more? But with one night of prayer, you can acquire something that the generation will shift. A generation will shift and forever will never forget. A generation will shift just because of an engagement in the place of prayer. At a time like this, you can shift the course of nation. You can shift the course of events. And David knew this technology. He said, for a day in the house, in thy court, is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness.